And now to our stories. The federal government has announced the mechanical completion and the flare start-off of the country's biggest crude refinery, the Port-Harcourt Refinery. It announced the facility commenced operations on December 20, 2023, as the first phase of the work at the plant had been completed, while adding that refined petroleum products will start flowing from the refinery after the Christmas break. The government had earlier in the year repeatedly stated that the Port-Harcourt Refinery would begin operations before the end of 2023. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Heineken Lokpobri, who led members of the Refinery Steering Committee to inspect the facility, congratulated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and Nigerians in general for the feat. To further discuss this, we're joined by Peter Okedia. He is an analyst with Fortrose Consulting. Peter, it's great to have you on the program tonight.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Peter, how significant is the Port-Harcourt Refinery's resumption of operations for Nigeria's economy and Nigeria's energy sector? Can you please explain to us the potential impact on fuel availability, prices, and overall energy security for Nigerians?
Thank you very much. This recent update by the NNPC Limited, in conjunction with the Minister of Petroleum of States for Petroleum Resources Oil, is an indication of the progress of the government in reviving the refinery. If you remember quite well, the revival or rehabilitation of the refinery started as far back as 2019 with Buhari's regime. That was the former president, where he earmarked about 1.5 billion for the rehabilitation of the refinery. So it is great news that we're having it come up now. However, so many misinformation are out there right now concerning this update, because according to the NNPC themselves, it was stated by them that it's only the phase one, that is the first phase of the refinery, that has been completed, not the full operation of the refinery. So the first phase of the refinery consists of the mechanical completion stage and the flare startup, as stated by the NNPC Limited. Of course, the mechanical completion stage means that construction has been completed. However, there has to be a substantial completion also, which would mean that, okay, the commissioning team would be brought in to make sure that the facility is operating as it intended to operate. So all these things must be in place before the refinery can operate fully. And whether or not the refinery will be in full operation by December is still in doubt. But what we know is that they promised in around November that the first phase of the refinery will be operative this December, and it is in operation already.
Peter, so are you sure?
There are several phases already.
Yes, Peter, sorry to interject there. But this is a bit confusing because people have been saying, oh, the federal government, President Tinubu has said, you know what, Port-Harcourt Refinery, December 2023, we're coming back. And now you're saying that we have this phased, what do you call it, phased resumption. I mean, what exactly should we make of this, this phased resumption? Are we getting ahead of ourselves, with the hope and the jubilation and the celebration?
Thank you. Yes, I believe Nigerians should approach every industry update with cautious optimism. So many people are optimistic about the likelihood of having a second refinery, an FGO, federal government-owned refinery in operation. However, this takes some time because according to the NNPC Limited are in charge of the construction or rehabilitation of the refinery. According to their press statement, they have made it known that it is the first phase that is in operation that has been completed right now, while subsequent phases may be completed in 2024. So, and according to the Minister of Petroleum, according to the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, that is Mr. Senator Heineken, he said that the petroleum production would start after Christmas So after Christmas, that kind of wording gives room for plausible deniability in the sense that it could be January 2024 or December 2024. So we are not fully certain when petroleum refining will start in the refinery. But what we are setting up is the fact that there's some progress and the mechanical completion stage has been completed. So after the mechanical completion stage, we have other phases to like the commissioning phase, where the commissioning team would inspect the facilities to make sure that they work as they are intended to work. So this might take some time to, we are not sure, but I'm sure that the president is involved in this and he has intentions for the refinery to be fully up, to be in full operation before
Peter,
his tenure ends.
Peter,
So
I'm happy you talked about the fact that Senator Henry Lokpobiri said after the Christmas break, and like you said, we don't know if that's going to be January 2024, December, even 2026. You even said that you've just mentioned the refinery could be in operation, before the Christmas break. I know the Port-Harcourt refinery. To me, a flare-off or having that chimney, flaring the fire and all that is nothing new because it had been going on. When Buhari was president, that fire was on. That fire was on. I've seen it, I've filmed it, even when we have the soot problem in Port-Harcourt. It was one of the things people said, could it be contributing to the environmental pollution? We'll talk about that later, So is there anything, what do we mean by combustion and they have been flaring that place before now, So are Nigerians being led on another journey of deceit and scam by this government?
Thank you very much. So your concerns are well reasonable in the sense that we have had this kind of announcement or update before now. Even the flare startup is like a phase in refinery rehabilitation where it is ensured that the flare system are working perfectly, like they are working as they are supposed to. So it is not a new thing like you have mentioned. So what we should be excited, considering the cost of the refinery and the billions of naira that has been incurred or spent by the federal government towards the federal government-owned refineries, we should actually celebrate the actual refining of petroleum products, not completion of a phase. It is good that they are giving us updates. It is very perfect. Like they are meant to be transparent. So what we require of them is more work. More work needs to be done. People shouldn't just.
So you're describing this as transparency.
Something else.
Yes, you're describing this as transparency. But Nigerians are not oil and gas industry experts. They're not technical people. They don't know. So if you say, "Oh, yay, we've completed phase one," what is that supposed to mean? Nigerians were told we're going to spend 1.5 billion US. Technimont is going to come in. We're going to renovate or rehabilitate this refinery. You put in crude, you refine, you bring out petrol, diesel, and what other products you want to bring out, the public can buy. So phase one, phase two, phase three, does it mean anything?
Yes, the concerns are reasonable, like I said earlier. I'm just I wish Nigerians could exercise patience when addressing these things because refinery operations are not that simple. They are complex, that they shouldn't be politicized at all. I think the fact that the government has politicized refinery operations before now has made Nigerians more kind of optimistic towards the operations of the refinery. You would listen that some critics have even suggested that refineries should be sold before now. So if the government is working towards it now, they are trying to provide updates to show that, we're actually working towards this thing without the aid of private investors. So this is not an I told you moment for critics yet. This is not an I told you moment. There has to be significant and substantial completion of the refinery before critics can be silenced. Of course, critics have made them more transparent now. So they have to put in the real work rather than making announcements of the phases and everything. So the commissioning has to be done before we are sure that this place would be refining crude oil in the near term or in the long term.
All right, Peter, thank you. The critics are standing by with their pens and papers. Trust me, those who've made arguments that the state-owned refineries, have become obsolete and is maintaining them or repairing them amounts to a waste of money because they're no longer economically efficient. Some have even said that, the grade of product expected from that refinery is not what is needed and the money is going to waste. So, well, let's hope the critics can be silenced and that this project can work. Peter, thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure having you. Peter Okedia, analyst with Fortress Consulting.
It's a pleasure speaking with you. All the best to the players in the oil industry too, concerning the refineries.
We certainly hope for the best. We hope this project succeeds.